Hello, and welcome to the Wine Educate podcast, where we explore WSET education, study tips, and practical advice for wine enthusiasts and professionals. I'm your host, Joanne Close, and this is episode 40. So if you've been with us for a little bit, you know that every 10 episodes, I do ask you to kindly share this with someone. So you may be in class or in a wine group, or you have wine friends. We all have wine friends because wine friends are the best friends. Please share this podcast. I would really appreciate that. I just finished up the old level 3 prep series, and I think it's pretty useful. It's full of stuff that I have observed over the last 4 years, and I'm just putting it all out there, especially if you know someone who is about to take level 3. Give them a little heads up. Send them a link. That would be super. So today, we're talking about something a little different, super fun, that I've been wanting to discuss with you all, and this is these wine tasting sample kits. So what do I mean? Well, people have developed a technology. It's sort of funny. The company that we're using, it's shrouded in mystery. They call it their patented technology. So I'm not really 100% sure on how they do this magically, transferring wine from a bottle into lots of tiny bottles without losing a lot of the essence of the wine itself, mainly just keeping oxygen away from the transfer process. But anyways, that's what they're doing. They're taking actual bottles of wine and putting them into little tiny bottles that are lightweight, sample size, and easy to ship. Because if you're going to ship a whole case of wine, that is heavy. And as you know, the heavier things get, the more expensive it costs to ship. So Nancy spearheaded this project, and she found this company called eTasting, and they offer these kits for level 1, level 2, and level 3. Pretty exciting. So we got one in the mail. We got the level 1 kit in the mail to check it out, to see if we wanted to offer it and to recommend it, all right? Some of you have been reaching out to me, my online students, asking, do we offer these kits? Would we recommend these kits? So we needed to sample it ourselves. So here are our impressions. And I don't know if you saw the video, our little reel that I put online of our reaction when we opened it. It was like 2 kids opening a train set Christmas morning. We were like, ooh, the packaging is really cute. And I know that's a silly thing, but it says to me that they're thoughtful. And that matters a lot when you are considering wine samples. So we ordered the level 1 kit that comes with 10 mini wine samples. How many are they? The size is 50 milliliters. We all think in ounces. So that's 1.7 ounces. It was shipped directly from the company that operates in California. It came quickly and was in good shape. And we actually had it shipped to a UPS office because Nancy was out of town. And then I went and picked it up. So everything went smoothly. That was really good. And one of the biggest selling points for me about these tasting packs is that they are officially approved by WSET, which I think is really great. Knowing, especially when it comes to wine samples, that the WSET put their stamp of approval on it is very reassuring, I feel. So the biggest test is in tasting them. Nancy and I decided to taste 4 of the 10. We're waiting to taste the rest with some other folks in our team. We didn't want to do it all ourselves, but we chose 4 of which we thought were perhaps the most testable. We're really looking for very distinctive, specific characters. I will go through them one by one. I gave them a score, 0 to 10, 10 being a very good representation of what they should be. I have to say the one that stood out the most was the Mosel Riesling. Even before tasting it, we agreed that there was no mistaking it for anything else. It was bang on the nose, exactly smelled and tasted like Mosel Riesling. So we gave that 10 out of 10. Another one that really was true to what it was supposed to be was the Beaujolais Village. All that red fruit, really nice, high acidity. No doubt that that was what it was supposed to be. So the other two, so we tried the Bordeaux and it just said Bordeaux. And we were getting a little picky for a minute there because I didn't detect any oak aromas. And I was looking for some of those classic French oak, some cedar, some baking spices, and I wasn't getting any. But then we had to remind ourselves that this is a level 1 tasting kit. And there's plenty of Bordeaux out there that is not oaked, and perhaps we're more just looking for this Cab Merlot blend, so some red plum and black currant, more so than all the oak. So I gave that a 9 out of 10. Thought it was really quite good. The only one that made me pause just a little bit, and it was a little strange, was the Marlborough Sauvignon Blanc. And we all know that this is a really distinct wine, and I was waiting for all the things. And I guess it just leaned more towards the tropical side. It was a little riper than some other Marlborough Sauvignon Blancs, which is fine. Those styles definitely exist. But I think I would have liked the style that had definitely more of the green bell pepper, cut grass, gooseberry aspects. Gave it an 8 out of 10. But I think I'm just being a little picky. And overall, considering these were repackaged and put in these cute little bottles and shipped all the way to us, I thought they were pretty fantastic. Really quite good representations of what they were supposed to be. As I said, we've got a few more to taste, and I'm excited to taste those. But once they're gone, they're gone. So I have to wait until the gang's all together so we can taste them. All right, so I'm going to talk about the pros and cons a little bit. This is just my initial observations. Some of the pros, well, the shipping's free. So the price that you see, and we're going to get these up on our website, so we'll be able to offer them. The price that you see includes the shipping, and the good folks in California will be shipping it out to you all once you place the order. Also, all their packaging is carbon neutral, which is lovely. The whole thing is recyclable. Great. Very thoughtful. It's WSET approved, right? So it's aligned with the curriculum, and we can rest assured that the folks at WSET have given it their stamp of approval. They are some optional tasting notes that you can add on. You pay a little extra, but those are fun. So if you wanted to get the tasting notes as well, they are available. So this is a good option for students who can't readily source a lot of these wines. Some of you guys live in areas that some of these styles may be difficult to find, but also you don't know if the Mosel Riesling you're buying is really a good example of what it's supposed to be, right? And at least with these, they're supposed to be pretty classic examples of what the style is. Okay, so let's look at some of the potential cost savings. Going through the different kits. So you have the level 1 kit, and this is pricing as of, 2025? If you're listening to this in the future, obviously prices can change. But as of right now, the level 1 kit is $143.99. That has 10 of these wines. I believe if you were to go and source these wines on your own, it would cost about $250. So there's about $100 worth of savings there, which is great. The level 2 kit. So in our level 2 classes, we taste 48 wines. The level 2 kit actually has 12 wines, so it doesn't quite have all those extra wines. The level 2 kit is priced at $158.99, and you would probably spend about $300 if you source that. So that's like a 50% savings if you went out and bought getting this kit versus buying the wines. Now, the level 3 kit, I feel, is the most exciting because it has 64 wines in it. 64 wines. That is all the wines that we do actually taste in class. And of course, since it's WSET approved, it's aligned with all the wines that are recommended samples in the specification, which is kind of fabulous. And the price of this sucker is $594.99. Definitely please buy this for me for Christmas sort of thing. Put it on your birthday list, your Christmas list, must have. All those folks, they find out you're a wine person and they buy the goofiest wine gifts. You know what I'm talking about. We'll have to do a whole other podcast on goofy wine gifts. This is a wine gift that you really want because also that seems like a hefty price tag. But if you're getting 64 wines, if you were to go and buy these wines yourself, now some of these wines are also expensive. So things like Chateauneuf-du-Pape or Tokai, those aren't cheap to buy a bottle of those. I reckon if you went out and bought all these wines yourself, it would be between $1,600 and $2,000. That's a pretty significant savings. And if you are a level 3 student living in an area where it's difficult to source wines, I think this is a pretty tremendous resource to have. Then you can have your own Christmas morning moment opening up this gorgeous box full of all these tiny bottles. And now I want one too. Put it on my Christmas list. Fine. All right, so those are the pros. What about the cons? Well, you all know by now that I live in New Orleans, and we just had Jazz Fest, and after Jazz Fest, things get hot. They get hot, and we don't ship anything, and we don't like to receive anything that is perishable because heat damage is a real concern. I would say if you're living in a warmer area, be mindful of this. If you have to get this during warmer months, maybe have it shipped to a UPS store or something like that where they can hold on to it for you in the air conditioning until you get a chance to go pick it up. Because these are tiny bottles and it wouldn't take more than an hour or so in the heat for them to be damaged. And you're paying a lot for these, and that would be terrible. Because then also you'd get them and you think, is this what it really is supposed to taste like? And perhaps it's not. Perhaps it got heat damaged. We do not want that. So just be cautious of when you get them shipped to you. The portion size. So 1.7 ounces is not a lot of wine. And Nancy and I, we split one. And even then, it didn't seem like a lot in the glass. Certainly difficult to look at the appearance of the wine. I would say these are single servings. If you have to share with someone, okay, but I would pour it all into one glass first so you can both look at the appearance in the glass, and then I would split it into two glasses, but certainly no more than 2 people. They're too small for your study group or anything like that. Difficult to share, I would say. If you are doing something like a food and wine pairing exercise like we do in level 1, it's not going to be enough wine, okay? Because you're going to need multiple sips to taste with the salt, the sugar, acidity, umami. That's 4 different sips at least. It's not going to be enough. So just be mindful of that. It won't work for some kind of food exercise. If you are in a study group, like 4 or more of you, I think you all should just chip in and buy the bottles. Like I mentioned, this kit is really not going to work for a larger group. And you can literally get a drop and you're going to be mad. It's not going to be enough wine. If you could pool your resources together in a study group, you can still keep the cost down. Who should get these kits? Who are they best suited for? If you're taking these classes online and you just really can't get access to some of these wines, it could be a good option for you. Also, if you just want to make sure you're absolutely getting samples that have been vetted and approved by the WSET, it could be an option for you. Also, the cost savings, right? So I did mention the cost savings, and even though something like the level 3 is kind of expensive, you get 64 wines. I think that's really cool. And you do save in the end. If it's just you, you're going to save quite a bit. So we are excited about these sample packs. We will have these up on our website. Nancy informed me that she got the old letter in the mail and she has jury duty. So it may take give us a couple days, give us a week or something, but it's coming. We're going to put it up on the Wine Educate website. That's where we list everything, right? We have all of our classes online and in person at wineeducate.com. You can check that out. We have wine, spirits, and beer. And I have my sake educator, and she is going to get on an ETP in November. So for 2026, yes, my year's confused, we'll have sake, which is really exciting. Anyway, if you have experience with tasting kits, I would really like to know what you felt about them, because this is just our first experience with them, and I'd like to hear from you all. So shoot me an email at Joanne, JOANNE at wineeducate.com. Let me know, and I'm very curious to hear your experience as well. Okay, until next time, hope you all have a good week.